All right, Sparkies, Friggies, Data Techs, this is for you. This is the review that you've been really wanting to see. The Milwaukee new staple gun versus the older DEWALT staple gun. Let's get into it. In previous times, we've been using the DEWALT stapler. This is an 18-volt stapler. Really good bit of kit. You know, we've never had any issues with it. Had it for about 1.5 years now. Milwaukee, though, has just brought out their new cable stapler. So we thought we'd put it to the test. We'll see how they get on, compare the two, give you some pros and cons. So let's get into it. This is the DEWALT stapler, pretty good bit of kit. So this is the chamber for the staples. So in and out just like that. Can be a bit annoying. You know, sometimes the staples get caught. 18-volt battery that goes in here. Doesn't have a battery charge indicator on it. That's also quite annoying. Another pretty annoying thing about it is just here, that's where you've got to set the cable. It does have a safety through the center. Unless that's clamped down on a cable, it will not fire. Can be quite annoying on your 1.5s and 2.5s. It's quite light. I do like how light it is and how compact it is. It is a little bit bigger than the Milwaukee one in terms of width and length, but we'll go into that a little bit later on. All right, this is the Milwaukee one. So once again, we've got a reload chamber here. It is a little bit smoother than the DEWALT one. Does have a battery indicator just here, which is really good. It does have a safety as well. The safety isn't as in-depth as the DEWALT one, but what is good is it does have a pressure indicator on it, which is really good for the smaller cables. You know, you can put all the 12-volt kit in here. Well, it is a little bit lighter all round than the DEWALT gun, just because it is 12-volt. So it is a little bit slimmer on the top in terms of width and length. So here it is. So what's the price? So the Milwaukee comes in at $399 as per Sydney Tools website at the moment, where the DEWALT comes in at about $449. So Milwaukee takes it out for pricing as well on this one. So these are the staples. So in a box of the DEWALT staples, you get 540 to a box. Now the pricing as per Sydney Tools website at the moment is about $48 for a box of 540. You get a box of 600 for about $49 as per Sydney Tools website as well. So once again, Milwaukee's just a little bit cheaper for the same sort of product, and you do get more out of the box as well. All right, so now we're going to do some clipping. We've just got some classic pine here. This is something that you just generally find in any new housing now. So we're going to go through, you know, 3 sizes of cable, typical sizes. So we got some 6mm TPS, we've got some 2.5mm TPS and 1.5mm TPS, and we'll see how the DEWALT clips it through with the 6mm twin and earth. So basically, boom, nice. So not heaps tight, can still move it, but nonetheless, you know, gets it pretty good. Now we're going to move on to our 2.5mm TPS. So we'll just fire a couple of rounds into that. So again, pretty good. Now it will fire in a bit tougher if you put a bit more pressure down on it, but it will also depend on the wood. So pretty good. Still not crazy tight, but you know, we'll get the job done. Now we got some 1.5mm twin and earth TPS. So we'll give this a go as well. So something to take away, it just hit the knot on this bit of timber and the staple sort of bent over. But even with that, I'll just fire one more in. On the 1.5, it is okay. It's not incredibly tight though. So it works pretty well on your standard sort of pine. If you hit a knot, the staple's not going to be that great though. So now we're going to give a red hot go with the Milwaukee on the same bit of pine. So we'll see how this one pans out. So we've got our 6mm twin and earth TPS. So this, it does it up heaps tighter. I actually can't move that out. So it is a much firmer grip on that. You're going to really struggle to get that one out. Now we have our 2.5mm TPS. We'll give this a bit of a fire, see how it goes. Once again, super taut. Can't really get that out comparatively to our DEWALT staples. see how it goes with some 1.5. All right, now we got our 1.5 TPS, so we'll give this a go now as well. So once again, it's actually pretty tight. The pressure gauge on the Milwaukee really does help it fire in heaps further. Just for argument's sake, I'm going to fire it in purposely into this knot, and we're going to see how the staple pans out against the knot. I just missed. It does pretty good. It didn't go in the whole way, but it does pretty good. All right, so now we're gonna go through doing the exact same thing. We're not gonna go through all the sizes though, into some hardwood. So I just got this from Bunno's. You can see it's Tasmanian oak, hardwood. Look, I'm not really a chippy, so I don't know if this is the hardest wood that you can get, but it is a hardwood, so we'll give it a go on that as well and see how it goes with the hardwood. So we're gonna start out with the DEWALT stapler now. Does it pretty good. Doesn't go in as far as the Milwaukee, but gets the job done. Now we're gonna try the Milwaukee out for size. Goes in heaps better. So you can see the wiggle there, just on the DEWALT staple, so it doesn't fire in as tight. But you can see here, just there, with the Milwaukee staples, it does fire in all the way and gets it really taut. So really good piece of kit. So one of the biggest cons that I found with the DEWALT whilst using this over the past year is unless you've got a cable, it can be a pro as well because it is a bit of a safety feature, but it will not fire unless it hits down on a cable. So it will not fire unless you've got a cable to trigger that pressure gauge. Which I find pretty annoying, especially when you're in really tight spots in the roof. So it can be quite annoying, but it also does save you from hitting the cable as well by accident. So bit of a pro and bit of a con. So as for the Milwaukee, basically you don't need to hit a cable specifically. So these two side prongs do need to both be activated for it to work, which is pretty normal. And then you've got the pressure gauge through the center. So the biggest pro to this that I find, again, pro and con, you don't need a cable for it to fire. So what I like about it is we can fire it in like this, like so. And then it's really good if you've got bunches of cable. You can stick a couple of cable ties through there. And then rather than using saddles or vice versa, you can tie your cabling off just like that. So if you've got heaps of them, it's a really good way to secure your cables in a roof. So that's probably a huge pro for me, but again, it can be a con because you can accidentally fire into the cable just like that, which can cause a huge issue down the track. Or you can sort of, I mean, we missed it there, but you know, you get the idea that you can fire into the cable by mistake. So pro and con to each, but overall, for this exact reason, I do actually like the Milwaukee, and I would prefer the Milwaukee day to day as well. So what's my overall thoughts on both of these guns? Look, I like both of them. I think they're both heaps better than clipping with your standard sort of clips or any other cable clips. Which one would I prefer? I'd probably prefer the Milwaukee. But look, if you're dedicated to a certain brand, you've already got DEWALT gear, this is a really good tool to have. Most of our kit is from Milwaukee. So, I mean, this has a few more pros that I do like. Like I said, you know, probably the biggest one is you don't need to be on a cable, and it is a smidge lighter, so probably a bit easier on you long term. And it is cheaper, and the clips are a little bit cheaper. So really good piece of kit. I'd prefer this one for my day-to-day work. We're not going to stop using this one though, because we do have it. But both are really good tools. So hopefully that helped you. We're going to do sort of more tool reviews in the future. So if you're keen on sort of seeing that kind of content, make sure you follow us along, like us on Instagram, and we'll keep you updated with new tools that come out and what we get up to day to day. Thanks for watching, guys.